Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Stott and I'm the Emperor of Stomaria. Today I want to give a progress report for Southwood, a Stomarian province. Now the works that we've actually been carrying out here have been quite extensive over the last month or so, and there is a lot more to do, so I'm going to walk through exactly what we have been doing and what the plans are over the next month or so. And this is all in advance of the Imperial Summit. We want to get the land ready for the Imperial Summit 2025, which is taking place in June. And when I say we are working on here for, this month or that month, it is going to be only a few days off that month. We are not here 24/7, obviously. So take that with a pinch of salt. However, I did want to highlight some of the important things and some of the quite monumental things that have been meaning to happen for a long time and have only just recently started to happen. So I actually recently acquired a chainsaw myself for the first time a few weeks ago, and I built it myself, so that was the first time me doing that, and I used it myself for the first time because I've always hated the idea of using chainsaws. They terrify me, frankly. But once you get into it, it's actually not that bad. There was a few slips of the chain, but now I'm quite adept at fixing the chainsaw as and when required. But I did want to highlight some of the works that we have been doing with this chainsaw. So for those that remember, this tree rotted at the base and fell over, nearly crushing King Daniel no less, and has been left here for some months. However, we have recently cut this up into lengths, and it's going to be disposed of in some form or another. It's going to be quite rotten in places, obviously, because it actually rotted at the base and fell over. Some of the wood might be usable, but by and large it is just a waste material which will either burn or dispose of in some way. But that is now chopped up into manageable sizes, so we can actually start to repair the trellis which is underneath it and got crushed by it. So the walkway can be repaired, or we can start to repair that. These water tanks here are now being gradually emptied, and once they are emptied they will be taken down and this area will be entirely cleared out. This pond is also going to be moved to a different location, which I'll potentially talk about a little bit later. This trailer has been pulled out and is going to be cut up by yours truly later today. This is going to be scrapped. It was brought here, well, I don't know, but before the Imperial Summit last year, I think, so it's probably been here for the better part of a year and nothing's happened with it, and so it's been decided to just cut it up and get it taken away by a scrapman. Back here we have started to cut away the rhododendron, so we are opening up this area a little bit in order to facilitate some potential camping areas, because the use of the land is going to be changing before too long. This is actually wayward south, this land here, and it's going to be primarily used for tourism, I suppose is the best way to describe it, because ultimately we are going to be taking a step back from this territory, both wayward south and southwood. We want it to basically look after itself. We don't want to be here constantly. We want to go and work on the next set of provinces which we hope to acquire later on in the year. And so we want to try to minimize things as much as possible, which is why we're so keen to downsize and everything, to getting rid of trailers or rubbish or scrap or cutting up fallen logs or whatever else, just trying to minimize everything as much as we can, establishing some ecological areas, if you like, and then by and large just leaving the land to its own devices. And I'll get on to what we plan to do with Southwood very, very shortly with regards to that. So as well as this fallen tree rather, that we've now logged, this seating, which is also rotten away, as you can see, has also been chopped up, ready for disposal. So we are just going to use chairs. There is some more timber over there that we're going to burn, so all that's going to get burnt away. There was a log here, for those that remember, going across this land, but I have taken that away and I've actually chopped that one up and preparing to actually log those, because the actual log that was there was actually quite decent, and hopefully we'll get some logs seasoned from that. But the reason that we opened this up is because I wanted to use this area as the kind of the zone, if you like, that we're going to be having competitions. So we'll put the straw bales there, and we'll have archery and air rifle competitions and all that sort of thing for the Imperial Summit, and this log was just in a very inconvenient place for that. So this has been opened up, and all of this should have some clover already in it, because for those that remember, there was clover growing all across this land here. Whether or not it grows back remains to be seen. You can see some small signs of life, so that is encouraging, but nevertheless we are going to be seeding or reseeding this land again anyway, for the Imperial Summit, as it will be the last time, or hopefully the last time, that we have the Imperial Summit here. And so we just want to make sure it's as green and as appealing as possible. And if we go down here, all the rubbish, or I'd say 90% of the rubbish at this point, has been cleared out, so there isn't a lot left down here. This is still primarily a storage area. We are going to have more logs around the other side of the cabin brought around here, and for those that do remember what was here before, you can see it is been largely emptied out. These black bags are actually full of leaves, which I bagged up back in early February, and I'm hoping over the next few years they're going to turn into a leaf mulch or a compost of some kind, which we'll be able to use. So that is the aspiration with that. It's basically an experiment on my part. I want to bag them up to see what happens. I'm sure something will happen to it, but we're going to see how effective it is, because obviously we have the compost bins, but for me it's all about trial and error. I always hear different things from different people as to what works and what doesn't, and I'm just keen to try these things out for myself. Now, something else. Oh, dogs are out, which means King Daniel must be about. He actually stayed on the land last night, as he does from time to time. So he'll be up and about before too long, so I'll wrap this up in a moment. The one thing I did want to highlight, actually, before I do that, is this new area for the granite tablets. So if you remember, we have Southwood and Wayward South, the granite tablets, to mark them as territories of the Empire. They're going to be positioned on this table, so as you walk down the entranceway, you'll have Wayward South and Southwood, granite tablets on there, flags flying in the breeze, and I think that'll be a very nice feature. So that's what I did last time I was here, just quickly threw that together. Now, in terms of what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be clearing out the rest of this land at the bottom, and we're going to be using it for dead hedging. We're going to be squaring things up a little bit. We're going to be chopping up this trailer. We're going to be burning the rest of this timber. Down here, as you can see, some more rubbish to be burnt, and then some more logs to be split. All of these tyres are also going to be cleaned up, relocated to the entrance, and then removed and I think recycled by a company that deals with these sorts of things. Obviously these tyres were hit before my time, and I'm very keen to get them going, but we'll just have to see how quickly I'll be able to do that. There is quite a lot. There must be several hundred of these scattered across the land, both back here and down at the back there. So one of the jobs I have today is to remove the tyres. Also later on, it's going to be a case of having some gravel brought in. So we've got another 2 ton bags of gravel coming in, and that's going to be used to thicken up the gravel by the entrance, and also potentially to extend a bit further down this way. Beyond that, it's just a case of squaring everything up and tidying everything up. I mean, we do have the watchtower up there is something I'm potentially going to have a look at today, because the rubbish collection, which was supposed to happen today, is no longer happening today, nor is the scrap removal, which is annoying, because of some issues on both ends. It's nothing to do with us, but there were some issues in trying to get to us, so that's been postponed to another day. But I'm using this as an opportunity just to make sure that we can get all of the rubbish and all of the scrap and all of the unnecessary waste here piled up and removed, because we have actually removed about 80% of the waste. So all of those photos and videos that we've had in the past of all these massive piles of rubbish, a lot of that is gone, but there is still more to be removed. So I believe that is a suitable enough update for the moment. And then in March, at the end of March, there'll be another update, and hopefully things will be a lot further along.
If you want to learn more about Stomaria or play an active role in our development and expansion, visit our website at www.stomaria.com and find out what it means to be a Stomarian.